And welcome. It's so good to have you all here to your Sonder Social April monthly setup. Grab your new beautiful purple April journal and join us. I'm Jennifer Krippner and I'll be your facilitator tonight. I am here from the lovely state of Minnesota where we just had some lovely freezing rain and snow, and it is fitting for March. So let's exit March and enter in April, where we hopefully will bring in some sunshine and some beautiful flowers. So welcome everybody. It's so great to have you all with us. We also have Bailey in the chat tonight. She is dialing in from the beautiful state of Tennessee. Hi Bailey, thanks for joining us. If you have any questions or need any support, Bailey will be in the chat helping you all out. Also in the chat, if you would like to share with everybody tonight, please choose everybody in your chat, or everyone. It's the little drop down blue arrow. If you just choose hosts and panelists, that message will just go to Bailey and I, so which is fine as well. Again, welcome. It's so good to have all of you here. We have quite the crew tonight from everywhere around the country, and good to see some familiar names and good to see some new names I'm seeing in the chat. So if you are new and this is your very first setup, please put that in the chat. Put me if you are new and this is your very first one here with us. So if you don't have your new journal yet, oh, welcome Amanda and Sarah and Terry. So great to have you all here with us. Samantha, Second Social, First Monthly, welcome. If you don't have your journal yet, just grab a notebook, take some screenshots. We are recording this social as well as the other ones. We'll share the YouTube link at the end so you can rewatch it, or just hang out with us if you've already got your journal set up. So again, let's get started and let's get this new month rolling. We also have some community guidelines. I'm sure you've seen these before. They're also on the website. We just really love this place to be part of our community with one another. We love to elevate your emotional health through the power of community, but we also want to make sure we're responsible for our own emotions, our own well-being, and our own decisions. This place, the Sonder Social, is really just about sharing ways to really make the most of our journals. So we just want to make sure that we have that space for one another. And who is loving our new theme this month? So authenticity, and what does it mean to be authentically ourselves? And I also love that Meha writes a letter in every single journal. And that's usually the first thing that I turn to when I get my journal, is her letter to us. And so I like to just point out a few things. I love how Meha writes and talks about aligning our values to how we can remain authentically ourselves, and how we perhaps can embrace curiosity as being curious of our authentic self this month, and how we might do that through the journal prompts in the journal, through looking at the reflections through Rosebud and Thorn, or looking at our March reflections, or really setting up our intentions for this month. And we're going to do that. And I really love that through the lens of curiosity. I have a few quotes for us as well. And that is also about, I can just read them for you. Authenticity is not about being accepted by others. It's about being true to your deepest values, even when no one is watching. Authenticity in family means loving each other as we are, not as we wish each other to be. Just being who we are. To be authentic is to embrace your imperfections, honor your truth, and walk confidently in your own light. And so those are some themes around our theme this month. If authenticity doesn't sit well with you, or you've embraced your authentic self, you don't have to use the theme of authenticity, and you can just use the journal or pick your own theme. Or if you have a word of the year and you're using that, you're more than welcome to make this journal your own. So our agenda for this evening We are going to open up with an acrostic poem. I do have, because this is the third monthly setup, I do have a couple other options for you this evening as well if you've already done the acrostic poem. We'll look back on March. We'll set our April intentions. We'll check out the mood and the habit trackers. And then at the end, we'll also look at the calendar and how we might set up that and have some ideas for that. All right, who's ready to get started? It looks like people are loving the purple colors this month. And yes, it is a lovely color and theme for us this month. So I invite you to join us in this opening prompt. It's not a prompt that's in your journal. So if you're new to us, I'd like you to turn to a fresh page in your journal, blank page. Maybe you'd rather just use maybe a page from your March journal that you didn't use, or perhaps you'd like to just get a blank piece of paper from your printer or something like that. You don't have to use a page in your journal. What we're going to do is just free associate 12 different words or phrases for authenticity. We're going to create an acrostic poem using authenticity, drawing upon that brainstorming list. I'm going to show you some examples. I'll walk you through it, and then I'll give you some time with some music to get started on that. And remember, you can do sentences, you can just do one word, you can do sets of words for each line, so it is actually a poem. Remember, this is your space and your time. You can choose how you want to do this activity. But let me walk you through a couple examples, some themes, and some ideas. All right, so here is how it could look on your blank page. Remember, this is not in your journal. So there's the word authenticity. I gave you some ideas on the left-hand side of different words that maybe associate for your personal self, for being true to yourself, for relationships, and for connections. I'll come back to this slide as I play music so you can get some ideas of some of those words that may help trigger some ideas for your acrostic poem. Here's a couple examples from some of our other Sonder fam members. On the left-hand side, you can see they have authenticity down on the side, and then they just wrote an acrostic poem. Adaption to being true, unrelenting the real me, tinkering with definitions, headstrong with a full heart, embracing the journey, noticing nature's blooming, twirling in the breeze, incorporate the learnings, creating and curating incremental advances toward greater understanding. You are unique, you are deserving. And on the right side, always me, unwilling to hide truths about myself, healing, welcomed, encourage growth, new possibilities, treat myself with respect. I am enough, compassion and caring. I matter. This is the real me. You're welcome. And I just think these are absolutely beautiful, and I really appreciate the people that wrote these posting them in Sonder Club over the weekend. So here's a couple others. You can see authentic living, being real, the authentic path. So if you really want to think about maybe a theme for your acrostic poem, you could do that. I will come back to these as well. And then a couple other examples. If you've already done your acrostic poem, you could do authenticity in one word. And what that means, the prompt is, if you had to describe what authenticity means to you in just one word, what would it be? And then you could just write down example words. And then another idea would be, think of a situation where you felt you had to wear a mask, or perhaps hide your true thoughts or feelings. What would have changed if you had shown up authentically? And so you could journal about that. So those are a couple ideas if you've already done your poem. And then one more idea, if none of those kind of sit well with you, you could just on a blank page do an end of month check-in and answer these 5 journal prompts. And so I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to let you guys work on this during a song. I'll go back through these slides and I'll be back to check in on you, and I'll check in on the chat as well. So I'll see you back here in a few minutes. All right, welcome back. Thank you all for sharing in the chat how either the poem worked for you this time or how you wanted to redo something different. And I just appreciate that sharing. Andrea, I love your one word. Thank you for sharing an admirable, unique, truthful, honest, empathy, natural, trusting, integrity, compassion, intelligent, thoughtful, and yearning. That is beautiful. And then I also, Monica, so true when you start dating again and how being authentic is really at the core of all of that. Cheryl, I believe you said, I really appreciate your poem here. Alas, you took heed. Emotions, new thoughts, incredibly centered. I trust you. That is very wise and true and honest. Um, Let's see, there were a couple others. Chris, I love your honesty. You're not feeling the poem at this time, so I love that you took the quote and paraphrased it. I hope you post that in Sonder Club so we can see that on page 3. I think that's awesome. Maggie, authoring my life, unafraid of what's to come, thinking of my truth, hoping for an amazing future, enduring hardships, noting my needs, thankful for my privileges, itching to show the best me, catching my hopes and dreams, inching forever closer to my ideal. Yay, me. That's the best ending. Thank you for writing that and sharing it. And I'm really interested to hear exactly how you might incorporate this throughout the rest of your the rest of your journal as well. And Jennifer Kay, as well. We're thinking of you and prayers on your grief and self-care and why you're here. I know there's um, nowhere that we'd rather have you than right here with us. And so just lean into being with us this evening, and we're here to really support you. I invite you to take your planner now and let's turn to March Reflections, and that is on page 8. What we really like to do at Silk and Sonder is before we move to a new week or a new month is really just to take a few moments to look back and let's really think about where we've been and what we've done. And we're going to do that through a few different lenses. And I'd really like to start to think about March wins, challenges, and favorite moments. So when you think about the wins, let's think about something that you did that made you smile or made you happy, or perhaps it was an accomplishment. Challenges, there's something that maybe were out of your control that didn't feel right or didn't go the way you thought, or stumbling block, frustration, something maybe that made you sad. And then a favorite moment could be something from your rosebud and thorn, maybe a rose, something that went really well that you're proud of. Different things that maybe you can look back through your March journal and see if there were things that you can come up with. Maybe look at your phone or your calendar to see if there are highlights from there. And once we do that, then we could go to the bottom of the page, and that's where we can focus on things that we want to start. So maybe things that you're not things that are not being done, but you want to do, things that maybe to begin to get better results with, things worth trying or experimenting for better results. The middle box is things that you want to stop doing or things that are not serving you, things that you maybe want better results from. And then continue. So what's working well, things that you want to keep doing, things that you like, or things that you need to do. So this is how we're going to tackle this page, and I'm going to give you a couple examples, and then I'll go back to that page. So here's my example for my March reflections. Somebody in one of the weekly setups in their daily habits said, 5 minutes of finding the sun. And that was a March win for me. And I really loved that term, find the sun. So during the day, I would get out of my desk and I would go wherever the sun was in the house, and I would just go sit there and take deep breaths in. And so that was my finding the sun. Prioritizing connections. I made a list of people that I wanted to either Zoom with, call, text, or just make a connection with, and I had really fun doing that. My challenges for March were a lack of moving, motivation, like getting up and exercising. And then my husband had a pinched nerve in his neck that started at the beginning of the month, but that got better. So just dealing with that and helping him get through that. It was my birthday and my husband's birthdays in March, and so we were in Florida for those birthdays, and that was really fun. My daughter is building a house, and so we've been really working really hard in helping her do that and supporting her. And then the pastor was out of town one Sunday in March and asked me to do the full service and sermon, and so I did that, and that was a favorite moment for me. And then, so I want to start more movement. I want to stop procrastinating, and I want to be more positive. I want to continue to be positive. So that's how I set it up. You can see I didn't fill in every line. If you want to just do one per section, if you want to write sentences, perhaps you want to use affirmations in the start, stop, and continue. This is your page to figure out how you want to set it up. I'm going to give you a couple more examples on the left-hand side. You can see how they, oh, thank you, Susie and Bailey, for saying that. I did the church service. Yes, I've done it like 4 times since November. So it's been quite an accomplishment for me to step in and lead the whole service and then actually do the sermon. So it's been a highlight for me. March reflections. So here on the left-hand side, they changed the color of their pens, which I think is really fun. And then on the right, if you can see at the bottom for their start, stop, and continue, they wrote, I feel optimistic because I think things are finally on track and I want to keep this momentum and start working. So I like how they reframed that. So feel free to completely redo how you want to do the start, stop, and continue. So with that, I am going to put on another song and I'm going to let you reflect on how lovely March was for you. Or maybe it wasn't so lovely and you want to reflect on some of those hard moments and how you've gotten through it. And here we are is going to put March to rest and move into April. So I will be back here shortly. Thank you for sharing your wins and your challenges. And I know sometimes it feels like, oh, we have to have these really big wins and these really big things that happened in order to write them down. And then I see some of you sharing that they don't have to be the big wins and the big things that happen. And sometimes just, going out and finding the sun, right, can be something that is a favorite moment. And so thank you for sharing some of your challenges and some of your ups and downs or some of your blah days and with us. And we're here to just really support you and be there with you. And so thank you for sharing all of that and reflecting as we think about moving towards our intentions. Because as we think about setting up this next month, we know that we're going to look back on April and in about 30 days. And in order to do that, let's set those intentions to think about where do we want to be in 30 days and what are those things that we want to look back on, and how do we want this month to go for us. And so knowing that we'll reflect, let's set those intentions. And if you want to use the theme of authenticity for your intentions, we invite you to do that and think about that in the form of the theme. Or if you'd like to just think about one area, perhaps self-love or self-talk, or maybe you'd like to have a category of just a song or a lyric that's connected to you right now. Um, or we have 6 categories for you as well that you can choose from that are already in your journal. And you can use those, or you can make it your own. And I'm going to show you some examples of how you might want to do that. First, I'm going to share what I'm going to do this month. This is something new for me. So I'm not going to use the 6 categories that are here that you can see printed on page 9 in your journal. I am going to focus on the dose method. And I don't know if you've heard this before. Some people use it in their weekly setup. But I'd really like to think about those happy hormones, the dopamine, which is the reward chemical, the oxytocin, which is the love hormone, and then the serotonin, which is the mood stabilizer, and then the endorphins, which is the painkiller. And I'm going to focus on my intentions for the month to really think about how I can always have a little boost or a dose of the happy hormones. And so this is how I'm going to do my month, my intentions for the month. So page 9, I am going to revise the 6 sections into 4, and I'm going to focus on dopamine, and I'm going to set and achieve small, meaningful goals each week, celebrating each accomplishment to boost my motivation and a sense of fulfillment. So I am going to just set little micro goals around motivation. And then, so that's dopamine. So that's the D in dose. Oxytocin is the love hormone. And so I will intentionally create moments of connection by reaching out to loved ones, offering support, and embracing that time to deepen my relationships. So I am going to just set time to connect, set aside time to connect with certain people. Serotonin is the mood stabilizer. I will spend time outdoors daily, soaking in the sunshine and nature to cultivate peace and balance within my mind and spirit. So I'm going to go outside and find the sun. That worked for me in March, and I'm going to carry that over in April. And then the endorphins. I will incorporate joyful movement and laughter into my routine, whether through exercise or music, to boost my mood and energy. And I love music, and it totally changes my mood. So, and I have like 1 or 2 jokes in my repertoire. I'm not a good joke. I can't remember jokes, but I have 1 or 2. So I am going to build on that and try to add a 3rd one this month that I can remember. So I'm going to move, laugh, and music. And so there's my intentions for the month. It's going to be very focused and very different. And I might even show you later how it's going to be incorporated into my mood and habit trackers. So a couple other ideas I'd like to share with you. The one on the left-hand side, they are using the categories of spiritual health, personal life, physical health, key relationships, money management, and professional goals. And what I love here is the use of stickers and colors and really great goals. On the right-hand side, you can see that they are also doing only 3: mental health, physical health, and relationships, and love the coloring of flowers and balloons and hearts. And so it's a really great visual and simple and easy to accomplish. On the left-hand side here, again, mental health, find fun, move every day, time with family, pay down debt, and support my team. Now, here's another example of somebody going along with the theme of authenticity, and they're choosing 3 areas with action plans. So I am authentic when I live my core values. And then how do I do this? And they created action plans. Or I'm authentic when I celebrate my creative spirit with 3 action plans. And I'm authentic when I lean into my love languages. And then they have 3 action plans. So it's really created around how they're going to really live out their intentions around the theme of authenticity. And then a couple more examples here. I believe this is my last page. Very simple with the shading and the coloring, beautiful on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, another great use of stickers and then actions built around it. Oh, my last one here. And then on the left-hand side, you can see they've repurposed each box to lower their stress level. So they have used gratitude, impermanence, acceptance, awareness, connection, and compassion. And then they've written down how they can also lower their stress level by those different categories. And then on the right, this beautiful handwriting under each category and how they are going to live their intentions for the month there. So I'm going to stop and I'm going to share these pages again, and I'm going to play music and allow your time and space for you to write in your intentions for April, so that when we reflect back on April in 30 days, you can feel a sense of purpose and accomplishment and reflect on those wins and favorite moments. I'll be back shortly. Right. Thanks for working on your intentions for the month. Melody, I really love what you said. Trying to think of what being real and authentic looks like in each of these areas. Right now, it's a lot of accepting where you're at. Courage is your word of the year, and this is going right along with it. So true. Thank you for sharing that. Christy says you almost wrote stop procrastinating, but that is neither realistic now or authentic. Everyone knows if I'm breathing, I'm procrastinating something. I think we are all right along there with you. I know I certainly am. And I think just acknowledging that is super, super important. So let's think about how we might do that in the next couple sections and really think about procrastination and what's behind that. Andrea, I love that you're thinking about using Jenny, who is the Sonder AI support in the personalized coaching plan, to help you think about some of these as well. I think that's great. And also, again, I love, Chris, that you're changing personal, money, and professional to brain health, home and garden, and creativity. Again, help these and let these sections work for you. And I think that's also super that you can make that work for you in that way. So also, awesome. Let's move on to the mood and habit trackers. How does that sound? Let's turn the page to, I believe it's page 10, and that is the habit tracker and the mood tracker. I think we're going to start with the mood tracker first. And I just thought I'd share this example. This was shared in Sonder Club yesterday. And what it looks like when you put all of your pages together in one screenshot. And this, I think, is just a great example of how things kind of come together with the theme. So let's look at the mood tracker. So this month has 30 days. That's why it's hexagon. If we were in a month of 31 days, we would have the circle frame. And that's how they decide what comes in what shape. And so we are in the hexagon shape this month. And so if you'd like to use it as it's designated with a mood tracker, you can look at perhaps using the 6 hexagons as maybe 2 to 3 negative feelings and neutral feeling, and then some positive feelings. Or if you want to focus on the theme of authenticity or procrastination, things like that, you could choose or name the buckets around that. And then use stickers, colored pens, doodles, create your own key. And I think that is up to you on how you want to fill this out. I have a ton of examples for you to think about. Here's the feelings wheel. It's also on the Silk and Sonder website if you want to as a reference or take a screenshot. We start in the middle with some of the big feelings: joy, love, fear, anger, sadness, surprise, and then go out from there. And then different ways to repurpose it. Like I said, I am going to go through several examples here. Again, the 30 days in the hexagon style, you can see on page 10 in your journal. Okay, so here's the dose method again. This is my example. I am going to use this to track how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling motivated or connected, if I find the sun, and if I'm really connected to the music or the laughter in which I'm creating my endorphins around. So I'm going to do that by like, am I getting them all in one day? Am I only connecting to the DOSE in, parts of the day? And so this is how I'm going to continue to follow my intentions throughout the mood tracker and see if I'm able to connect to all 4 on a daily basis or not. So that's how I'm going to use it this month. Very different than I've been using it in the past, but I want to try something new and shake it up. So here's a couple more examples. This one on the left is called an effort tracker. So were they eager, little bit extra, slow but steady, tired, minimal, or just not having a lazy day? And that's okay. And they're going to track it by those symbols on the right. This used to be mine because I get migraines, and so it was more of a symptom tracker. Did I have a good day? Did my eyes hurt or burn? Did I have headaches, stomach ache, migraines, all of those good things? A morning tracker. So what are the things that you want to do for morning routine, like make your bed or vitamins, flossing, exercise, walking? How about if you on the right-hand side want to stay in a good mood? What are those things? Meditate, 30-minute walk, read, facial, naps, Hallmark Channel. So that's all those good things on the right-hand side to stay in a good mood. How about just a regular mood tracker? So happy, stressed, productive, tired, upset, loved, angry, sad. On the right, maybe you're over indexed. Delighted or highlighted, grounded, reflective, exhausted, decision fatigue, levity. Um, on the left-hand side, maybe it's an exercise tracker, 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles. Did you use a DVD or weights? On the right-hand side, we have a bedtime and routine tracker. What are all the things that you need to do at bed? And then how many of the days of the month did you end up tracking that or performing that routine? On the left-hand side, here's another great example of mood trackers. And so the different colors that they're going to fill in each of those hexagons. And then on the right-hand side, another mood tracker with stickers. I love the stickers. Again, on the left-hand side, more mood trackers. On the top, in the middle, mood trackers with really unique ways of coloring in your hexagons. Stickers on the right-hand side. Bottom left, how about a book tracker? And they list out the books that they're reading, and then they have the stickers there that they're going to be doing, filling in. And the bottom right, the left-hand side is an emotion tracker, and the bottom right is an energy tracker. And they're using flowers to identify those emotions and energy. A couple more examples, and then I'll let you start sharing and working on yours. So here's a self-care tracker. And they are doing the 7 types of rest. So with an example in each hexagon of what activity they're going to do there. And then on the right-hand side is your workout tracker. So what are the types of workouts you're doing there? Okay, so these are a ton of things. It looks like almost everybody used all of the boxes. You don't have to. If you want to track one thing, track one thing. If you want to track 2 things, track 2. You don't have to do all 6. If 6 isn't enough and you want to do more than 6, add a 7th. You can see here for mine, I am just tracking 4 this month. And so lots of examples. I'm going to put on a song. I'll let you start to think about what you want to track for your mood. And I'll be curious to see in the chat what you are going to be tracking for the month of April. I'll be back here shortly. All right. So it looks like we have our mood tracker set up. Curious as to what people are thinking about. Looks like Kusa, you're tracking your energy levels. I love that. Um, and Christy, you picked two words for the bigger section to track this month. So nervous, mortified, agitated, disgust, regretful, powerless, astounded, speechless, optimistic, cheerful, affectionate, sentimental. Lots of strong reactions. And I'd be really interested to see how you're going to be doing that. So, and how that goes for you. Thank you for sharing those big words, right? Thank you. Oh, and Andrew, you're tracking your blood sugar, fasting blood sugar for you. So lots of different things that we can track in this area. And I think it's really good also to be thinking about how often you go back to doing this and looking at it month over month, if you also change things up or not. This is my first time changing it up. I haven't swayed from doing the same thing month after month after month. So be curious how that goes, and we'll report back in a future monthly setup on how that goes. So let's look at our habit tracker. If you want to turn over to the next page, it just really like flipping the journal over. Let's look at the habit tracker tips and tricks. Again, you can use authenticity as your focus or pick a different theme. Continue habits from last month. And then again, find a balance. Habits you know you can do so that you can, check those boxes off, or ones that you need to be a little bit trickier, find more of a habit to commit to. And again, remember, you don't need to fill in every single line. And I never do. I always like to leave one or two open so that maybe doesn't need to feel like it's overwhelming. All right, so this is what it looks like. It's the same every single month. It's a really great wheel to look at tracking habits for the month. So let's look at this. This is going to be a little tricky for me to think about how this differs from the mood tracker. And so love to hear your opinion on this as well. So I'm going to continue with my dose method. Motivate to move, connect with my people, find the sun, and laugh in music. I also added on there because I travel for work, which days I'm traveling. So see how that impacts my ability to do these actions. And then any celebrations, like if I have it's my daughter's birthday and anniversary and things like that. So things like that, I'd like to make note on those in the same things to see if they impact when I'm able to do these habits or not. So that's what I'm going to be tracking this month, which is different than last month. Here's some other ideas that I'll come back to if you need some ideas on what to put in your habit tracker ideas. So as we think about this versus our weekly habit and activity tracker, I really like to think that monthly is something that you can track each day, whereas your weekly habits and activities, maybe you only want to track a few times a week, or only track for a single week and not track for the whole entire month. Also, it's really good to think about, does this habit still serve me, or am I blindly following an old routine? So it's just curious to me as you think about filling this in again. Is it a carryover? Is this something you still really want to track? Is it helping you to continue to do this habit? And are you going back and doing this every single month, every single day during the month for your monthly habit tracker? So you can see some of these examples on here: water, working out, mindfulness or meditating, getting to bed at a certain time, no phone after a certain time, and then tracking 2 weekly habits. A couple other ones here. Expanding your movement. I like this option. So the first 12 days is 30 minutes. The second 12 days is 45 minutes, and then expanding to 60 minutes. On the right-hand side, they actually frame the days of the week around the dates. I like that idea as well. This month we have the Wheel of Life in your planner. I think it's on page 4. And let's see here, they coordinated the Wheel of Life themes here by color in the center of the wheel. And then like spiritual is regular pause with God. Career is be at work by 9. You can see personal development, make time for myself is purple. And so they have their habit tracker with their wheel of life so that they can increase those areas that they want to have more focus in that area. So just a really great idea on how to expand your wheel of life with your habit tracker. I will go back through all of these slides as soon as I play the music. I just have a couple more examples for you to see. This one on the left-hand side, they write down their why for each of these areas. And then when they're done with that day, they just color it in. So I think that's kind of a neat idea here. On the right-hand side, they only have 3. So they block color in the other lines so they don't feel like they're missing something. On the left-hand side, they beautifully color in the whole month in a certain pattern. On the right-hand side, you can see they use up all the lines and they block out the weekends. A couple more ideas here. On the right-hand side, it's a learning habit tracker, podcasts, articles, TED Talks, YouTube videos, and books, things that they're accomplishing. And then the shading on the left-hand side is beautiful as well. A couple more examples of different ways to color in dots on the left-hand side, little symbols in the middle, and little stickers on the right-hand side. A couple more examples here. It looks like the same example there on the left. The right-hand side, you can see they're using the white space around the circle with some quotes. And change your habits, change your life. I love that as well. Whoops, that's our last activity. All right, let me play a song so you can work on this section. Please share in the chat what activities or habits you're going to be tracking. And then I will see you back here in just probably about 4 minutes before we end up wrapping up at 7:15 Central Time is what we're scheduled to end at. So I'll see you back here in a little bit. Thanks for taking time to work through your habit trackers. Deb, thanks for sharing that. I love how you use different colors too. So your yoga, and you use a different color if it's self or class. For your exercise, you use a different color for each activity since you like to mix it up for bike, hike, dance, walk, golf, or swim. You are motivating here. Your sitting activities, you did different colors for knitting, sewing, crocheting, and then your spiritual stuff, different colors for reading the Bible, praying the rosary, or meditating. And then you also leave some blank. So that is a great idea for filling in those little squares. I think that's great. And Monica, yes, I think you have a keeper since he is supportive of your Silk and Sonder journey and loves your prompts that you share with him. I think that's awesome. And Andrea too, that's great. So I love that you've all shared some of your ideas. Andrea, your daily affirmations that's something that you track in your habit tracker. And Bailey, your Ned bits, not every day, something that you do along with your daily habits. Thanks for sharing that little tidbit. That's kind of fun. I love it. So that's great. Thank you for all sharing that. And since we're almost out of time, I'd love for us to just look at the closing activity today. Curious about how people like to use their calendar. So many different ways people like to use it. On the bottom left, they use their calendar here for their exercise, when they're resting and what type of exercise they're doing. The middle one looks like it's for affirmations. So they write down their affirmations. And on the right-hand side, it looks like it is for their schedules and PTO and different things that are happening in their life. I know a lot of us have electronic calendars. Monica, looks like you use it for your Sonder Social calendar. That's also. Amanda, you use yours as a typical calendar for scheduling things. Kay, you use it for a monthly calendar to track your step bet challenges. I love it. Kim, you use it as a bingo. I love that too. Here's a gratitude journaling prompt for April. You could take a screenshot of this and perhaps see if you want to have a gratitude month and do little things around the month of gratitude. So just some really fun ideas, and just wanted to end that on the note of seeing what people like to do for that calendar. Anyway, Bailey and I appreciate all of you. We're inspired by your ideas, inspired by your creativity and your authentic selves in the chat. We so appreciate that. What a great time we've had tonight. And it's just been amazing to have you here. Love being part of this community. And so Monica, thank you for sharing. You could use those in the gratitude prompt, in the gratitude log. Yes, that's so true. And again, we love having you here. Please share in the Sonder Club all of your examples. Again, we get inspired by you. Here's some of the songs that I shared tonight for the playlist. And then again, the personalized coaching is here. If you'd like to be part of the personalized coaching, please just, there's, I think, another event coming up. If you want to check your Sonder Social calendar, you can log into that. Otherwise, the YouTube video has all of our recordings. If you want to watch that, Bailey has the link. Otherwise, have a wonderful week ahead, and we'll be sure to see you back here in upcoming Sonder Social. Have a great evening, everybody. Stay safe with this weather, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.
Can't believe we've come this far, and it feels just like getting started. Somehow we're still running like those kids back then. Scrape some knees and falling down, but somehow we keep getting back up. Long as there is wonder, gonna keep running, yeah, we'll keep running in this moment. It's electric. Can you see it? Can you feel it? This dream inside is still alive today. Yeah, we're on our way.